What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today, the very heavily requested Dimash. Probably not pronouncing that right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, here we go. Interesting choice from the cellist, that vibrato. This is, sorry, this is important, I think. Classical music handles time very differently from basically any other genre. Most other genres have their roots in some sort of dance or blues or anything like that, where percussion and time is very, very steady. Classical music pushes and pulls time, and it's a difficult thing to do because whenever you push the tempo up, you kind of have to take it back, and the opposite is true as well. So you do kind of eventually land in the same place ultimately, but there's this push and pull in this dance. So that there's no conductor is interesting. I mean, there's only a cello and a piano, so it's not like a lot of people have to sync up here. But it's really nice because I just haven't been hearing a lot of classical music because no one wants to hear it, unfortunately. So this is a nice thing for me. I love this sort of thing. It's really interesting, the vibrato here, same with the cellist. I'm surprised how clean this mix is. So that's falsetto, or at least very heavily falsetto. You can hear, and everyone thinks I say falsetto, and everyone's like, oh, blah, blah. Like it's a pejorative. It's not. His folds are open, and that's what gives him this light and airy flute-like sound. And then he comes in with that mix. His musicianship is uncanny. These phrases might as well have been done with a world-class violinist for all I care. This is amazing. The vibrato is coming in cleaner over time. Could be nerves. The vibrato was a little out there and wonky. If I'm performing, I imagine on TV for an entire country, I might be a little nervous too. But the phrasing is amazing. The tone is beautiful. And I really, really, really like what he's done here specifically. It's really interesting. It's like Celine Dion ballad meets like actual classical singing. This, I guess a lot of people would call this like popera, which is not like, it's not meant to be offensive. It's popular elements of pop music and then elements of classical music put together, and it's really nice. Like I love some of this music. It's amazing. So this falsetto is super clean. Usually it's very, very, very difficult, usually if someone's like a classically trained tenor, to achieve this like really, really even mix. So he goes into falsetto here. Oh, here. Somewhere here. There we go. It is very possible to smoothly connect falsetto and to make it really, really elegant. But that's not what's done for classical tenors. For opera singers, particularly men opera singers, the desire to avoid anything but the most bombastic of sounds leads people to not be able to do this while simultaneously being able to do this. That's very classical, that sound. And this is where people would make a mistake, and this is actually a mistake I made when I was first learning to sing opera. this sound is not made by bringing your tongue back. This sound is made by having an incredibly lifted soft palate and an extremely tilted thyroid cartilage and a little bit of a lowering of the larynx. And again, that is in contrast to this. This is a high larynx sound.
I don't know how to reach you.
And he's being super careful not to over tilt the thyroid cartilage to make it really sensitive. And then this, beautiful. The vowels are delicate and bright. The larynx is super high. It's really kind of amazing that you get all of these different, I guess, flavors, for lack of a better word. Nice. That what he does on Pray right there, I think is super, super interesting. And this can only be done within opera as a genre. The human voice is one of the most dynamic instruments there is, right? If you sing a super powerful operatic high note without a microphone, okay, you can be heard. But then if you immediately go back to this very, very soft little thing, no one's going to be able to hear you, right? So having a microphone, having compression, and being able to do these things, pretty cool. And an awesome aesthetic, because you get the best of both worlds. Ooh, man. His high notes are super good. Just want to hear that. I want to hear that high note again. That's a D flat. That's high. Very, very high. And we get a pop modulation? Are you kidding me? Because it's not high enough? What? These high notes are very, very, very common in metal singing. This is not this kind of high note. In opera, it might like struggle to project depending on the situation. But and that's not to say it's like these aren't powerful high notes, right? They're very powerful, which is why people use them in metal. But the method. The technique is different, and I'm not doing that to take him down a peg. I'm very interested in that he's got so many tricks. He's got options, right? It's really cool. There we go. This is more operatic. And notice the vowels are actually bright. This lady right here. Yeah, me too, ma'am. Come on. Right there with you. This is metal AF right here. This is so yes, metal, yes, it's different than classical. It's still exhausting if you use too much air. The difficulty in high notes is not using more air than is necessary. The more air you put into a high note, the fatter your folds become. The way that high notes are really singing works is there's something called the Bernoulli effect. If you take two pieces of paper, blow air through them, they come together. They don't split apart, right? And so that's how the vocal folds come together. So to be able to do this and be like he's not mindful of his posture. Maybe he is, and he's just really good at not showing it. But I think it's probably more believable to say that he's just super comfortable singing in the stratosphere. And again, why does he also have to be good looking? That's